Will I be the astronaut for wanting to divorce my husband because he calls me a tradwife? I am a stay-at-home mom. I left my career to stay home with our child, 3 female, a little over a year ago. She's autistic and requires a lot of support. Being a stay-at-home parent was never in my plan. I do not like being without my own money. My husband makes a decent living for us as the sole earner. All that being said, I have taken the role fairly easily. I enjoy meal planning, cooking, and baking, generally experimenting in the kitchen. I built a small garden in our backyard, and I do the majority of the cleaning. When my husband is home, he also does chores and parenting. He's not one for the traditional gender roles, or so I thought. We've been together for 10 years. I was vacuuming in his office about a week ago. He'd left his monitor on before he left for work. Not uncommon, and I went to shut it off. What threw me is that he had his X/Twitter open. At first, I was just confused by the post about tradwives until I saw a picture of me getting something out of the oven. The more I looked, this was his account, and he was bragging about having a tradwife, lying about our dynamics. There were other pics of me in the garden and one of me reading a story to our daughter. Thank God her face wasn't in it. I was so upset, angry, and creeped out. We'll go ahead and do this. I didn't even think. I just called his phone, and when he answered, I snapped. I don't even really remember what I said. I do remember him saying to calm down, and it was just silly posting. After that, I told him I wanted a divorce, that he was a creep, and hung up. He, of course, came straight home. We argued a bit, but I have a fairly strict routine I keep with my daughter. He made me promise we'd talk at night. We did, and he showed me he deleted the account. It's been a week and my anger hasn't calmed down at all. This is not the man I thought I knew. He says it started as a joke and got out of control because he liked the attention. So Reddit, will I be the astronaut if I divorced my husband for pretending that I'm a tradwife online? OP responded in the comments and said, I am not a tradwife. I'm a stay-at-home parent. I don't defer to my husband to make decisions. So if I'm understanding the situation right here, she was just a stay-at-home parent doing the typical stay-at-home parent thing. He is portraying her to be his subservient, basically. He's portraying her to be completely dependent on him, to take orders from him. I don't know what all the whole tradwife thing entails. You do you, if that's your thing. The problem here is that he was misrepresenting their dynamic. He was misrepresenting her dynamic to the world publicly and basically portraying her as his accessory. Which, if you found out that your partner was doing that, it would be pretty freaking upsetting. I don't understand what he's trying to accomplish here. He said he liked the attention. So what, he did this for clout? He did this for views? He used his wife without her knowledge and was posting shit about her online, saying shit that isn't true for attention? I don't think that's a good excuse, man. This is not a good excuse. What is he getting from that beyond internet points? I mean, it doesn't sound like he's at the point where he's like doing the full bore content creator path. Like he's not, he's just getting attention and that's it. And he liked getting the attention. He deleted the account. That doesn't erase the fact that it happened. It doesn't erase the actions. It does not erase the violation. And taking those pictures of her and posting them without her knowledge, yeah, is a violation of privacy. I mean, they're married, they're a family, but there is a steadfast rule when it comes to marriage where you make darn sure that you talk to your spouse before you post any pictures of them, right? Every dude knows that he's got to run pictures of his wife past her before you're allowed to post them online. That's just how that's supposed to go. I don't know. I mean, if you found out that your spouse was, it doesn't matter what the portrayal is about. If you found out that your spouse was portraying you to the public as something that is wildly different than what you actually are, I think you'd be upset, right? I think you'd be upset. Now, the jump straight to divorce. I mean, she feels strongly enough about it. This was never in her plan to be a stay-at-home parent. She reluctantly agreed to do it because they needed her to do it. But she cashed in all of her career hopes and dreams to be the stay-at-home parent. And this is how he repaid her. By doing this, by portraying her as this, by portraying her as less than for internet clout. That's a big up. That's a huge violation of trust. It is a violation of privacy. Is it divorce worthy? I don't know. Every couple's different. That's between them. But she felt strongly enough about it to immediately say, this is divorce worthy. I want out. Now that's between them. Whenever she called him to call him out on this, him immediately say that essentially she was overreacting and it's just silly posting. Like, that's the absolute wrong move, dude. That is the complete opposite end of what you should be doing here. Telling your partner that their feelings aren't valid is not the first move that you want to make. Oh, you're overreacting. Making your partner feel unseen, unheard. If you're trying to create a resolution to this problem, telling them that they're wrong for feeling away is not the way. It is definitely not the way. The question is, will I be the astronaut for wanting a divorce from my husband because he calls me a tradwife? Now, I feel like wanting a divorce is a feeling. Asking for one is an action. You can't be an asshole for feeling something. Acting on that is a different kind of story, but this is important enough to you to warrant that. So I feel like it's still an NTA here. You aren't an asshole for reacting to something that someone did to you that was offensive directly, and there's no way around that. Now, whether it's worthy of divorce is completely between you two. Can you come back from it? That's the question. Can you come back from it? The work to accomplish that is entirely on him, but is it possible? And I feel like that's a question she has to answer is there redemption possible here? And if so, what does she think it would take? And is he willing to do that? There definitely needs to be a conversation. I would definitely agree with therapy here. But instead of jumping to a let's talk about this, and it's still, how long ago did this happen? She said it had been like a week. It's been a week and my anger hasn't calmed down at all. It's not the man I thought I knew. He said it started as a joke and got out of control because he liked the attention. So it's been a week. A week is still pretty fresh for something this big. I think they've got to either talk about it themselves or they've got to get into counseling. They've got to review this some way. Now, again, wanting the divorce is a feeling. Acting on it is another way. If she actually filed papers and did this, I don't know. It's worth it to her. I think it's a subjective thing. It's worth it to her. They do need to sit down and have a conversation. She's a stay-at-home parent because her child is autistic and requires a lot of support. And that's a big sacrifice. To be the caretaker of an autistic child, I'm sure is a big sacrifice. And then to turn around and see that your partner is portraying you like that after you've sacrificed your professional career as an adult is it's extra salty. It's extra salty. I'm still sticking with she's not an astronaut for wanting that. Where it goes from here, there has to be a lot of communication involved, and really I'm thinking about their kid. Also, OP is going to incur a lot of hardship on herself if she rushes straight into divorce as well, because unless she can be a funded provider for her daughter, she's not going to be able to continue being a stay-at-home parent to her daughter. They're going to have some kind of services help with that so mom can work, and everybody's life is going to get more complicated here. It's not going to be easy.